Alright guys, now we're going to go with the final step on doing the custom moldings with a regular 2x4. As you can see, in my master bedroom, I pretty much got the 2 rooms done with this technique, and it's coming out pretty good. Now as you notice, again, this is 2x4, so we get little notches and stuff. I'm not really worrying about that because I'm going to be covering it with at least 2 or 3 coats of primer. And then we're going to paint over this. So again, this is not ideal for if you're looking to stain this type of casement or moldings. All right, this is strictly if you're painting, which we are. If I was staining, I would not use 2x4. I would use more of a cedar, not cedar, a better pine or better wood without notches, so you get a better grain. But being that my wife's planning on painting it, I couldn't see investing that money for the better wood that's going to be painted over. So that's why I went with this technique of using 2x3s and 2x4s. So the first thing, this window here is my last one I need to get done. Well, I found a tool that's been helping me is this tool right here. It's called the Trim 45. I really like this tool. This tool made it so easy for me to get the 45 angle cuts. All right, so if you're new to this and you want to get some good cuts, I had this thing for, actually I bought it really when I first moved in the house, but never used it about 10 years ago. So this is the older model. I think they changed their design of it, but it's still the same premise of it. It really helps. So what you do with this, the Trim 45, let me show you what I did. All you have to do, you figure out the reveal that you want. You set this little piece right here in the back. You dial it in, lock it in, and all you do is just butt it up into the corner. And once you put it in the corner, you make it lines right there. Now I made a line here, and I made my line here, and all I have to do now is just put my tape measure in this part here, stretch it down to this point, and that'll be my measurement for my top molding. So this, I really like this device. It's ideal. It's been helping me take the guesswork out of getting the proper length for my custom molding, and I used it for all the rooms in my house. So I do recommend this. Pick this up if you considering. Now we can continue on. The next step now is to cut the molding to the size of my window. And like I said before, I'm using the Trim 45 to help me get my spot on trim. Now to start off, and you can go to the website just to show you how to use this thing. I got to cut a 45 just to start it off before I can start to use this. So let me cut a 45 to this, and this is for the left and right, the same thing. I'm only going to show you this once. I'm going to cut this 45. After I cut the 45, then I'll the measurements I have for my window, which I written here, last window, 33 5/16 for the top and bottom, and the left and right is the same. So that's excellent. So let me get that done right now, right? Alright guys, now I'm going to take this 45 right here, okay? And what you're going to do, you're going to lay it down, and what I do, I'm going to flip it over, and you see these 2 little teeth right here? These 2 little teeth is going to get butted into this. Okay? So now the 45 is now in here. So your tape measure is going to lay into this, and I'm just going to go and measure out to wherever my tape measure stop, and that's going to be my measurement for, I'm measuring for my top and bottom. So I'm going to continue that on and get the right measurements so I can get it cut out. As you can see, I have the 45 set up. It's into the wood now with those 2 little prongs, and right here, this little level here, I'm gonna measure out from this point on out, whatever that measurement may be, to give you my final measurements, which I measured 33 and 15/16, almost 34. All right, so let me just get that done now. Okay, all right, guys. Once I got my measurements, as you can see, I'm gonna take my little carpenter square here. I'm gonna line up my measurements to that, and I'm just gonna make a mark going up and one up here. All right, and then I'll come back over here to finish off the line to make sure I got it. All right, and that's it. So this is going to be my angle. This is 33 and 5/16 for my measurements, and then I'm just going to cut this to size. All right, so, and this will be the top and bottom. So what I'm doing now, I'm cutting the bottom first, because you can't cut both of them at the same time, but I like to do one at a time. I'll take this upstairs, I'll look at it, see that I did it properly, that there's no mistakes, and then I'll come back and transpose these measurements to the next one. So, all right, so I just want to double check that. And I said, and this, out of this 2x4, I'm getting a top and a right or left side molding for this one 2x4. So let me get this cut and we'll continue on. And just show you guys, it's spot on right there. Alright, so that's using the 45 to help me take the guesswork out. So let me take this upstairs and let's get a test fit on it. Alright guys, I'm upstairs. Alright, and as you can see, when I made my mark set, that's my mark right there. It's going across the line, and it's lined up pretty much here also. Alright, so that shows I'm spot on with my measurements. So I'm just gonna go downstairs and cut the next piece to continue on. So, all right. Just want to give you a little bonus tip that I find very helpful. Once you get everything done and sanded and really prepped, before you start your painting, I recommend getting some cork. It doesn't matter what kind of cork. I'm using, what is this? DAP acrylic cork. That's for paint and it's paintable. And just to get into the little cracks, all right. Just for final appearance. Again, when the paint goes on it, it looks like one piece when it's all painted up. So I just want to give that little tip. So I done sanded, filled all the nails holes, and came back with a little cork to get into the little gaps. And the gaps are really very small. You really don't need it, but I like to add it just for that final touch. So when paint goes down, it looks nice and clean. So that's my tip on how to make custom moldings out of regular 2x3s and 2x4s. I hope you appreciate the video. Give a thumbs up. Please subscribe. This is Boys and Their Toys, and it is just a how-to, how I'm doing things. I'm not saying it's the correct way or the right way. It's the way I decide to do it within my skill set. So, and overall, I like how it's coming out. I'm about to prime it. I'll probably show you a little clip on how it looks once it's primed, and then my wife's gonna come back and she's gonna do the final painting. So once that's done, I'll record that, show you the final product, and hope you can take these tips and apply it to your own situation. So take care, guys. Hope you're doing well, and be safe, and take care of your family. All right, later.